Stay on this story and get some more analysis with Daniel Pieper, who is a Korean Foundation lecturer in Korean Studies at Monash University. He joins us now live from Melbourne. Welcome to the programme. So North Korea has recognized that its spy satellite that it wanted to send into space failed. How important is that admission of failure?
I think it is significant. Thanks for having me on the show, by the way. This is something we have seen more often from the current leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un. Under his leadership, there has been more of a tendency to um, admit failures like this in missile launches. So this isn't unprecedented, but the rapidity with which it was admitted is a little striking. But I think, of course, it will be spun in a different way for domestic audiences, the reasons behind it. Um, but I don't think it's a serious setback for the program itself. As the previous guest mentioned, they vowed to launch another satellite soon, a military satellite, and I think we can expect to see that.
And just going back to what Frank said, South Korea also launched a spy satellite into space. Was it using the same technology? How different was that? Just trying to see how different and how similar both attempts are.
As far as I know, the satellites launched into space a few days ago on May the 26th were not purported to be military in nature. Although South Korea did announce earlier this year that later this year they would be launching a military satellites, but the ones launched a few days ago were not military in
Okay.
nature. This was a very significant, though, development in South Korea. This was the first time that homegrown, fully domestically produced satellite technology like this had been launched in South Korea. There were dummy satellites put up last year, last June, actually. I was in South Korea at that time, and this was a major news story for more than a week. The first domestically produced
Uh-huh.
satellite technology, putting up the dummy satellites, and now a few days ago, actually commercial satellites.
Okay. Now, Daniel, the UN has condemned this attempt by North Korea to deploy a spy satellite using ballistic missile technology. Why is this so concerning for the world and for the UN?
Well, I think any sort of launch like this, be it satellite technology or ballistic missile technology by North Korea, is always concerning because of the relative lack of intelligence, the opacity of the regime. We simply don't know what's coming. And so um, we see what happened in South Korea this morning, where when citizens were barraged at 6:30 in the morning with alerts to take cover, and then 20 minutes later that was rescinded. But as you might guess, that this causes a lot of nervousness, a lot of worrying in countries around North Korea because we simply don't know when these things are going to happen or what the result may be. But if we look at these provocations or this behavior in terms of the self-preservation of the Kim regime, I think it makes perfect sense. So I think a measure that could um, tone down the tension a little on the Korean Peninsula would be a greater communication and transparency with North Korea and the outside world, specifically countries in Northeast Asia.
Daniel Pieper speaking to us from Monash University in Melbourne. Thank you so much for your time and your analysis today on this programme. Thank you.